before starting the conversation, it is my pleasure to present you another video. nolla-E sent us a 3 minutes video introducing itself for the Romanian business community in order to prepare future collaboration. So, the movie, please.
I'm the founder and CEO of nolla-E. For every building that you want to make more energy efficient, there is 1,000 different things you can do. And all these different services and products have a cost, and they have an impact on the building. And if you want to make the building really more energy efficient, you have to do many of these energy efficiency measures. And then you have a lot of combinations to choose from, usually around 100,000 combinations. And one of these 100,000 combinations is the one that gives the best return on investment. And it is quite a big job to calculate which one it is. So therefore, nolla-E has created a software to do this. And how does the software do this? The first step is always energy simulation, where we create a digital twin of the building. After creating the digital twin, we do re-engineering of energy flows, which means that we try for that digital twin all the different 1,000 different energy efficiency measures that are possible for that building and the 100,000 combinations of these energy efficiency measures. And after calculating them all through, the software tells you which one of these 100,000 combinations is the one that gives you the best return on investment. What are the things you should do, how you should do them, what is the cost of doing them, and when they're done, what is the outcome in terms of EPC rating, CO2 emissions, and finances. The simulation starts with a 3D model of the building, where we draw the building exactly as it is and input all the technical details of the building. Then the software calculates 1 hour at a time the whole year through. After that, we do something we call re-engineering of energy flows, which means that when we have done the energy simulation and we have the digital twin, the software tries to that digital twin all the 1,000 different energy efficiency measures that are possible for that building and their 100,000 combinations. And after calculating 100,000 times 1 hour at a time the whole year through, the software shows which one of these 100,000 combinations was the one that gave the best return on investment. What are the things you should do? How should you do them? What is the cost of doing them? And when they're done, what is the outcome in terms of EPC rating, CO2 emissions, and finances? Why to do it like this? It is because the average return on investment for energy retrofit projects in the European Union is 7%. And when we do the same calculation with the software of nolla-E, we actually get return on investments from 17 to 50% in the same building. Thank you.
From now on, Gina, the floor is yours. Good luck.
Hello everyone, can you hear me? Connection good? Now it's good. Welcome to this second panel in which we will be talking about energy efficiency. Energy efficiency, which did not used to be such an attractive topic maybe 15 or 20 years ago, but now everyone talks about energy efficiency and how the fuel and energy that we don't use should be first. So energy efficiency first. You remember about 10, 12 years ago, this appeared for the first time in the reports of the International Energy Agency. When we think about the Nordic countries, we usually associate each country with something. So when I think Iceland, I think geothermal. When I say Norway, I think about hydropower and the power generation mix, which is based more than 90% on hydropower. When I think Denmark, I immediately think about district heating. So each of the Nordic countries have somewhat of a specialization, but they all care deeply about energy efficiency because of the heating requirements of the Nordic climate. So without further ado, I would like to present to you our panel because we have rich expertise present in our panel today. It's mostly a Danish panel, but we also have a company from Sweden. So I will start from Mr. Stoica from the other side, then Mr. Cezar from Ramboll, one of the biggest consulting companies and engineering experience specifically in district heating. Then we have Mr. Cezar Cojocea, the country sales director for Romania at Danfoss, and I will let him tell you what the company is actually doing and how it is present in our daily lives, although we may not be quite aware of it. Then we have Mr. Andrei Bita from Kingspan. Yes, so the company is the inventor of the pre-insulated pipes. And there are a lot of other things, fittings and parts of equipment that are used in district heating and for buildings efficiency or increasing buildings efficiency. Next I have Mr. Marian Biro from Nibe AB, a company specializing in the manufacturing of heat pumps. And last but not least, Mr. Florin Popescu, who is the managing director of Rockwool, a company specializing in stone wool insulation. So without further ado, I would like to invite Mr. Silviu Stoica, the General Director of Ramboll, to open our panel today with his presentation, and I will ask each of you to say also something about your company, give us some statistics so that we remain with 2 or 3 important things that we should know about your company.
Thank you. Eugenia, thank you for the invitation. Good afternoon, everybody. Ramboll, it's a company that starting working from 45. This month we have 80 years anniversary. Will be a great moment for our company to celebrate the continuity.
If we can bring up the PowerPoint presentation of Mr. Silviu Stoica on the screen.
The company, it's a company which is present in the many continents, but of course have a very clear DNA from the Nordics. And headquarters of our company, it's in Copenhagen. The company has around 18,000 staff, which are working in different, not only in energy, it's working also in water, in waste management, in environment, a lot of other verticals. We are on the top 10 of the company around the world, in the similar company of consultancy and engineering. And in Romania, we are starting to work early 90s. And during the time, we were involved in a lot of important projects around our countries, especially in energy, water, and environment. I selected some projects which are iconic for our company and, of course, for Nordics. One of the important is not for us. It's a very important project. It's Copenhagen district heating, which is a worldwide extensive system for heating in Denmark, in the world. Of course, it's developed during the time, and Ramboll support during starting with 1970. The municipality and district heating companies in order to build this system, which is also very efficient and with a great ambitions in order to become up to 2030 neutral from the CO2 emissions. Now the goal it's already at 85%, and of course all the specialists there are working in order to fulfill these goals. Ramboll are done by Copenhagen district heating system, all kind of services, including the design of the networks of transmission and distributions, design of 3 power plants, including the sludge incinerator, also a big central heating, cogenerating heating and power plant, which is one of the modern in the Europe. And of course the planning, which is very important. The planning was done very carefully in order to be updated in any time with the new solutions and the new and the modern and innovative solutions to be implemented in this system. It's important to say that Ramboll made in Bucharest, starting at the 90s, the first strategy for district heating. The strategy, I think, is there. I don't know how much was implemented by this strategy, but of course, after that, the collaboration was interrupted between Ramboll and the municipality of Bucharest. But I think that Copenhagen, it's a great example to be followed by our cities, except including Bucharest, in order to follow the model that Copenhagen developed in the district heating. Probably in the future, this dialogue will be possible. The next project that I selected it's a city gad. It's a project that was developed in the middle of London, and a traditional power station was transformed with by installing some pump heating, big pump heating, and some boreholes around, 3 boreholes, very deep boreholes, in a very green station, and the emission of the CO2 was decreased at 50%, with 50% in this project. The other one, it's Overdor. It's a power plant in Denmark. It's a very modern solution and very efficient power plant. This power plant is combining, it's an example how to transform a power plant using the traditional fuel in the modern one that are using the green fuel. Now it's working on the pellets. All the energy it's produced from the pellets. Of course, there are a lot of logistics around. I will not enter in these details. A very smart project is related to a wastewater treatment plant, in which was built the system in order to coupling the district heating with district cooling, and of course using the wastewater in order to assure a very stable temperature for the system independently on the season. It's very smart solutions there implemented, and of course it's a very cost efficient and very profitable for the company, and of course it's very beneficial for the customers. And the last project I selected, it's the heat extraction from the data center. The statistics say that in 2028, probably 3% of the global energy production will be consumed by the data centers. So it's a big development in this industry, and of course, data centers are generated a lot of heat, and the Ramboll solution is to transport the energy from the data centers, the heating from the data centers, in fact, to the district heating, and this solution it's available now in a few projects. This from the Odense, it's already implemented. this was my presentation related to the Ramboll, which is a company which is not working only in district heating like Eugenia said. It's working also in the renewable energy, in biogas. We have all the project already, a lot of solution for this type of sectors. And in the last time we started to implement this kind of solution also in a project in Romania. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Stoica, for your initial remarks and for your presentation. I would like now to continue with the presentation of Mr. Cezar Cojocea, Cezar Alexandru Cojocea, who is the country sales director at Danfoss, Romania, and he has been with the company for over 15 years, working on market expansion, sales strategy, and building a strong client portfolio. Please, you have the floor.
Thank you very much for inviting me here, and I think it was very good idea how you put like a cadence this, because Ramboll already talked about this sector coupling, where Danfoss is also very much involved, and during my presentation I will touch also these points. So I think it's very good segmentation. Thank you. So the global megatrends create for Danfoss significant opportunities, like Ramboll says earlier. It is about sector coupling, and it is about these megatrends to connect and to all the time try to get all this waste heat to transform in energy. So electrification, it's in fact shift from fossil fuel to electric, use it in transportation, as you can see in the picture, but also in industry and buildings, urbanization. It's growing cities, and there it's demand for more efficient infrastructure and for heating and cooling system. Digitalization from Danfoss is smart controls and IoT and automatization for heating and cooling system. Population growing and less resources is demand for low carbon and optimization of consumption of water, and all these megatrends align with Danfoss portfolio and with energy efficiency. Our purpose is to better, we engineer the better future, I would say. Danfoss is a family-owned business, starting in 85 years ago, and we are present in Romania from 99, so almost 30 years. And we are engineering solution, and with that we increase machine productivity, and we reduce consume and enable electrification. On brief, Danfoss, close to 40,000 employees worldwide, 9.7 billion euro yearly turnover. We are split in 3 segments: Danfoss Power Solution, Danfoss Climate Solution, which I represent today here, and Danfoss Power Electronics and Drives. By being a good rolling model, we start decarbonization first of all with our facilities, of course, and we do this in this approach in 3 steps: reduce, reuse, and resource. Reduce is by improve energy efficiency, the theme of today. And then reuse, it's utilizing of recovered energy, and resource is sourcing renewable energy. And our ambition is that to decarbonize our operation by 2030. Our campus in Norborg, where is the headquarters of Danfoss, close to German border, in south of Denmark, it's already reached CO2 neutrality from 2022, using the same step from heat. We reduce 79, reuse 6, and resource 50%. And for power saving point of view, we reduce to 41 and resource to 59. And now I will come back to the end of presentation of Ramboll. Here I put, let's say, typically all the energy together, like electrical grid, heating grid, and cooling grid. And in this way, most probably it will be easy to understand what Danfoss is doing. So, as you can see in center, we have monitoring and management, and here we have software that control and using AI make all this system with the maximum energy efficiency possible. And the idea is to use this, as it was mentioned, this sector coupling, exactly similar like for electrical. Yeah, we know that everybody now, I mean, for personal perspective, can have this electrical panel, photovoltaic panel on the building, and they use for their own consumption, but when don't need it, they give it to the grid back. Danfoss did the same, or trying to make this system for heating and cooling. So use the heat produced by cooling system, recovered and sent back to the building to be used for producing hot water, for example, or if don't need, can be sent to the district heating system and then use it for another building. And we have components in all this system. And one of the great example, and I think it's also very interesting for Romania. As we know, a lot of hospitals are now under construction. And what we did in Denmark, it's one hospital where it was installed a big heat pump and also photovoltaic panel that which supply with energy this heat pump. And all this, let's say, waste heat that it was in the past sent in the air, now it's recovered thanks to our equipment and sent back, as I said, for producing hot water or for heating different area in the building. I will finish with saying that the waste heat is a sleeping giant in energy transition, and we believe that decarbonization is about using what we have already in more intelligent way, and waste heat is not a waste; it's waiting to be used.
Thank you very much for your presentation and the introductory remarks. I propose we now go to Mr. Andrei Bita, the regional sales Balkan for the Balkans at Kingspan, because topically, I mean, your topic is quite related pipes with the district heating and with the presentations of your two predecessors.
Yes, thank you very much. My name is Andrei Bita, and I'm the regional sales manager for Logstor, a company which is part of Kingspan group. And or like some other colleagues from Bucharest, they know us, the reason why we don't have again hot water in the apartments or heating during the winter, during this period. Let me start with a simple truth. Every city wants reliable heat, affordable, safe, and sustainable. But the question is not how much costs this heat now. The question is how much it will cost over time. I represent Logstor. The company who invented the pre-insulated pipe more than 60 years ago. And over more than 6 decades, we helped cities to move from energy loss to energy efficiency. We take this role very seriously, constantly investing in research, development, and innovation to stay ahead, not just as a simple supplier, but also as a partner for better future. Let me take you to Denmark, where our story began more than 60 years ago. Actually, the first pipe was installed and pre-insulated was in 1964. But together, when the oil crisis came in the 1970s, Denmark faced a big challenge. They need to keep their cities warm, but not depending on the imported oil. Before the 1973, Denmark district heating was looking something similar to Romanian one. And the answer which they decided to take was to invest in district heating. So they decided to invest in district heating on long term, and they took a risk with this, but it worked. And now, investing in this in long term, this gave them a return of investment. Today, more than 2/3 of Danish households are connected to the district heating network, most of them using our technology, Logstor one, and those investments paid off, not just from money saved. They even cost a bit less, but also they had lower emissions and better quality of life. It's a story about vision, about doing the right thing from the start. And this should be okay for all the countries where, or a rule for all the countries where district heating is required. About Logstor, we believe that this efficiency should not be an option. This should be a standard. We are a complete solution provider for energy, not only from heating point of view, but also from cooling point of view. We offer systems that secure long-term performance, not short-term fixes. Pipes with diffusion barrier that protects insulation for decades. Twin pipes that carry supply and return lines together. Digital monitoring. These are not just products. These are investments in stability, and when we design a system, we think in decades, not in budgets. Our Danish clients understood this long time ago. They looked beyond the first invoice, and today they enjoy one of the most efficient and sustainable heating network in the world. If we talk about Romania, I believe we have cities with full potential, but too often we spend our resources fixing instead of building. We repair the same old systems again, using the same old materials, and we wonder why the problem keeps coming back. In many projects, we still use classical insulation, a technology that Denmark replaced more than 30 years ago. Meanwhile, modern systems like insulation in higher Series 2, Series 3, or twin pipes, which can reduce the energy loss up to 60%, are not used. Yes, it's true that these systems cost more, and they are a bit more complicated initially to be installed, and even more 15%, up to 15% more expensive at the beginning. But the difference disappears when we look at the lifetime cost. Because in district heating, the initial investment is only about 30% of the total cost, the other 70%, it comes from operation, from heat loss, maintenance, and repairs. So when you choose better technology from the start, is not spending more money. Actually, you are saving more in the long run. So my message today is very simple. If we want cleaner, smarter, and more efficient cities, we need to start choosing better. Efficiency doesn't start in the power plant. It starts underground with the right pipes, the right technology, and the right mindset. At Logstor, we are proud to have invented this pre-insulated pipe, but more important, we are very proud to keep reinventing it every day, because innovation is our legacy and our responsibility. And together with you, we can make sure that every investment in Romania makes today becomes a long-term return and foundation for the next generation. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for your presentation. And all the three presentations that we have heard, I think, show us the really global presence and experience of your companies, as well as the pioneering role of your companies in energy efficiency, so not only district heating. Next, I would like to invite Mr. Marian Biro, who is Senior Technical Advisor at Trust Euro Therm, the official representative in Romania for Nibe AB, and we will be hearing a presentation about heat pumps and the projects in Romania that utilize heat pumps.
Yes, an example of two projects in Romania. So I'll try to introduce Nibe company from Sweden, shortly our company from Romania, and as an example shortly two of our projects that we do in Romania using heat pumps. Nibe, a company from Sweden located in Markaryd city, in the south part of Sweden, in the region of Småland. It has more than 70 years experience since they start production. But we are interested in started in the last 40 years when they start produce heat pumps, a specific point, and then they accumulate experience in designing and producing heat pumps, all type of heat pumps, geothermal or air-to-water heat pumps. After that, they are a group. Nibe buy many companies around it. Right now, there are around 120 companies in the Nibe group. On average, is 20,600 employees in the group, and a turnover in 2024 for 3.6 billion euro business. These are the companies and the group connected in three sections: Nibe Climate Solution, Nibe Element, and Nibe Stoves. We are interested in the first one, which include also the company Nibe, which we represent in Romania, and it produces its own heat pumps. Nibe is also a big company that is growing itself. It grow his business. Here we have a new capacity for production. Finished it in 2023. More than 60,000 square meters of production, specialized for new products. New products named air-to-water heat pumps. Very efficient. With more than 400 employees only on this new factory. Also, they develop the research part, which is very important for them to be a leader in the region. With a new test and development center, more than 8,000 square meter, and also exhibition center in the lower part of the image for training the companies that work with them. This is our company, Trust Euro Therm, from Piatra Neamț, Romania, the north part. This is the central, the main house storage and offices. We are now more than 25, we are 38 employees. We are growing also. And we represent in Romania some companies, Nibe, Sabiana and Henco are the biggest one. Nibe, we speak today about the heat pumps. And we would like to present two projects that we finished with Nibe heat pumps. First one, it is in a residential area where there are 3 blocks of flats, where we succeed not to replace gas because they are new, but to succeed to win against competition of gas, which it is a little bit hard, let's say. There are many blocks in that area. When we arrive, first 10 blocks they are already built and equipped. We're speaking about the next three blocks where we propose a solution with air-to-water heat pump. First block, where we have some also data from the consuming. It has 48 apartments and an area of 3,400 square meter useful area. Here we propose 2 groups of heat pumps at 8 piece each one, with water heaters for water for the shower, for units, thermal storage tanks, and all other equipments for the installation. And what is important, the blocks has on the roof also electric installation with photovoltaic solar panel. Well, this is the installation diagram that we have them for the realization of this project. The internal technical room where we install all the equipments that are inside. Apartments were finished at the end of year 2022, and by the mid of 2023 they are all occupied, and so the block are start functioning. And we have some data regarding the consuming of electricity. A total consuming of 89,400 kilowatt, only for the installation of heat pump, for heat pump and hot water. With an average consume on each apartment, let's say 155 kilowatt that they have to pay every month. After that, the photovoltaic are producing 87,000 kilowatt. A part is consumed directly by the heat pump system. Other one is delivered to the system grid and take it back around half of the quantity. So if we deduct this electricity from the total consuming, and if we go roughly average on each apartment, we have a consuming of 53 kilowatts each month for one apartment, which we can say it's quite a small number. Another project is project cabin at the mountain. Actually, as we said, in the brain of the mountains in Carpathian. Here we replace a wood boiler with heat pumps. A surface not big, not small, 1,250 square meter. So at the beginning was a wood boiler, a big one, a big boiler with the hot water preparation, also with the solar panel thermal for the hot water, and inside we have a radiator. In the upper part on the left, you can see the pile of wood that they store every year. The quantity of wood they need for one winter, a big quantity for the heating of this chalet. We install a totally 7 pieces of air-to-water heat pump, another type compared to the last project, because here the temperature can drop below -20, so the heat pump works until -25. Well, in the picture there are 6 units because one was added later because they have a problem with the production of hot water. They consume a lot of hot water in that cabin. With the water heaters and electric backup and all the rest. Of course, the wood boiler remained there. A lot of clients is asking us for the safety reason. If they need it, if they have to do it, they can use it. But after we install the heat pumps, the wood boiler never functioned again. So we have some data regarding the cost of the fuel. The wood is around 300 cubic meter per year. And its cost, the price of the wood, transportation, cutting, splitting, stacking, and also the men who do the job all the day, it is around 250,000 lei per year. After they install the heat pump, they consume only electricity of around 154,000 lei per year. They also have a solar panel here, a system of 42 kilowatts. So it is a big difference in the costs comparing wood and electricity consumed by the heat pump. This is the chalet in winter. As you can see, the winter is harsh there, but the heat pumps are working and they provide heating and hot water for their needs. I thank you for your attention, and if there are questions, I can answer to them. Thank you.
Thank you very much indeed for this presentation, which I find exciting because the Bâlea Chalet is one of the most popular touristic destinations in Romania, and it's great to see the owners of touristic let's say resorts embrace heat pumps as well as heat pump utilization in the residential area, because we were seeing 3 years ago such examples from Poland, but we knew nothing about such utilization in Romania in the residential buildings. So thank you. Now I would like to invite our last member of the panel, and I would like to introduce again Mr. Florin Popescu, the Managing Director of Rockwool Romania, which is part of the Rockwool Group, and who has managed to transform a commercial subsidiary in Romania into a manufacturing subsidiary, which I think is quite a success. Could we bring up some slides? We also have some slides. Yes.
They're up there. Thank you for the invitation. I'm very glad to be here and to share our experience. How is this working? Yeah. What we do at Rockwool, we are helping to construct more sustainable buildings and communities. Rockwool is a Danish company, started back in 1937, and since then built a very strong knowledge in production of mineral fibers out of stone. It is now a world leader in this segment with 42 factories present in 23 countries. and delivering the products around more than 120 countries, a turnover of about 4 billion euro, and more than 12,000 employees. What we produce, as I said, we offer solutions to help creating energy efficient, fire safe and circular buildings and communities. At the core of our production stays the stone, the volcanic rock that we transform, I would say, by some magic into fibers that have many strengths coming from the stone. Yes, first of all, an insulation material used to improve the energy performance in buildings. In the same time, being a mineral product, it has a very strong fire resilience. It withstands temperatures above 1000 degrees, stopping the fire to spread and not catching fire, being a non-combustible material. Again, being a mineral product, it is very durable and with a long life in the buildings. Very important for us is also the circularity. This material can be reused and recycled many times. And so many other qualities coming together. So yes, we can offer solution in the entire built sector, in all type of construction, starting with insulating the facades, the floor, the roofs inside the building, partitioning, floors, even the HVAC installation, and so on. And always, besides the thermal insulation, we bring also the fire safety or the sound protection through the quality of the product. And as I said, very important for us, it is also now when we choose solution to build sustainable buildings, it means that we need to take into consideration circularity. How the products use recycling materials during the production, but also to take from the job sites the waste and put it back into production and reuse. And as you can see there, yes, there is a plan to have it available until 2030 in 30 countries. And very important, is rather small, but you may see there Romania has this available service since 22. How this is possible? This is possible because we have attracted a greenfield investment which started operation back in 2019. It was a 50 million euro investment at that moment. And the things were going so well, basically since 2022, we are in a sold-out operation. Our solutions, our materials are highly used mainly in the Romanian market. We also export. Of course, local workforce, 170 currently, total number of employees of Rockwool Romania, and we use mostly local raw materials. And then what I'm proud of as an example of success building a business in Romania with the Nordic, with Danish investment, is the fact that we are now We have now just started the construction works for a second line with higher capacity, a much higher investment, 150 million euro. And here, from an energy efficiency and sustainability point of view, we are acting in two plans. Basically, the new line is much more modern. We are melting the stone using electricity, so innovative technology, and also all the emissions and everything much less, including use of renewable energy. Much more efficient operations in the factory. On the other plan, we are helping Romania to improve the built stock. We have a huge number of existing buildings that need to be upgraded and with better energy performance, and of course everything that is newly built needs to be up to the new standards. These are very clear, coming through European directive, and then it's important always, yes, we insulate the building. It is very important to not forget about safety. And fire safety is very important in many types of buildings. And also paying attention of reuse of materials and circular economy. So this is for the introduction, and I'm looking forward to share more information later.
Thank you very much. Now we have finished with the official PowerPoint presentation that can go into the more lively part of our discussion. And I would like to go back to Mr. Stoica and to that part of our panel, because you have this unique historical view over what has happened in Romania's district heating segment. This is a painful topic for us in Romania. We have lost many of the cities and towns that were connected to district heating. But in the last couple of years, there seems to be somewhat of a renewed interest. Can we talk about a revival of interest towards district heating? What do you see, but also Mr. Cojocea and Mr. Bita, what do you see from the perspective of your companies and the demand on the market for the type of products that you sell, specifically related to the district heating topic?
Yeah, like you said, it's a painful subject because in the most important city in Romania, the district heating doesn't exist in the right sense of this system. There are some systems that are survived in a few cities, and of course this was, in my opinion, a bad start in doing this type of business here, because was affected also the population, was affected the investors on that, was affected the producer of materials. A lot of market was down beginning of the 2000, the end of 90s. Now it's the moment. There are some investment in some facilities in some places in the energy producing. And of course, the important investment more done in reduce the pollution, reduce the NOx and SO2, etc. In the mid of 2000, in the mid of 2000 or 2015, 2010, 2015. And of course, the remaining system have to be renovate and modernize and extended, but the main items that have to be put it on the table is the mandatory connection of the system, because in Copenhagen this law exists. Everybody it's obliged to be connected to the district heating, because that's why we are investing in this system, in order to be used by the citizen. Of course, there are what is in my opinion a little bit not understandable is the sense that we had a lot of funds available in order to invest in that, EU money and other dedicated amount of financial envelope dedicated to this system, but was not possible to rise the level of approach in order to make a very solid strategy, in order to have a clear vision about the development, how to build a little bit the strong company in order to execute the important project in this system. Of course, to stimulate a little bit the provider of the equipment in order to be in line with the last innovative solutions to be introduced in our project.
What would you say was the main obstacle for us losing so much time, because we're so much behind with modernization of the district heating in Romania? I mean, if you were to point to one or two main factors.
I don't know, it's not simple to say because there are many, but in my opinion, we have to be out from the comfort zone, the traditional Romanian lasă că merge și așa. I don't know to say in English that, but
we would say it's cultural, it's the mindset.
Okay, exactly. To change the mindset at all the level, administration, local and central administration, consultants, engineers, designers, provider of the equipment. Everybody have to fight a little bit in order to demolish this barrier in which we are now. Okay, we will do something, we will repair something without any strategic vision and a right using of the existing EU fund for this sector.
Well, thank you. I would like to go to Mr. Cojocea. Maybe you can tell us what were, let's say, the local authorities or our Romanian municipalities receptive towards in terms of Nordic solutions, and where do you see reluctance in adopting solutions that have proved to work elsewhere and that are, in practice you can see them?
Yeah, I think it was, as my colleague said, it was also a bit of reluctance because we have a very bad history from communistic time, that it was not enough heat, not enough water, and people was, not ready ready to move to other sources than district heating. And then it was, I think it is what was mentioned also, that political decision not to, or to keep, to keep this system working and to be, modernized, and also keep people using district heating. Now, the investment was very low many years after the communistic time, and I can see from, let's say, last 2-3 years, it is kind of investment. Some city more advanced, some city less advanced. One of the good example is Oradea in our country. They did a lot, also from network point of view, from technology point of view in thermal points, and also from sourcing. The new trend in district heating, it's we call it fourth generation in Danfoss as terminology, and I think it's also general, and that this is referring that district heating don't use 100 or more degrees in a pipe for distribution because of good insulation, good pipes, good, let's say, innovation of materials. And now what we present here with this sector coupling, the idea is to decrease the temperature that we are using in district heating and to allow, for example, data center to become a district heating producer. Because by cooling this data center, we can grab the heating and sending to the district heating and to be used for heating or hot water, production.
Thank you for your answer, but Oradea is an outlier. It's a success example in Romania. When we talk about Bucharest, and Bucharest is half of the heat market in Romania, here, you know, the statistics and the indicators are quite horrifying, and I will go to Mr. Andrei Bita with this question, because we were talking about such indicators as 38% losses in the, you know, transport and distribution network. So I think here, you know, the pre-insulated pipes would be the obvious answer. And I wanted to ask you, where have you sold or where have your pre-insulated pipes have been used in Romania?
Logstor is present on this market since 2009. And we start being very active since 2010, being involved in the renovation of many parts of district heating networks, not only from the north part, from Suceava, Bacău, Constanța, Arad, Oradea, but also very important in Bucharest. But it's a pity that we start investing only when it hurts. So only when we had to cover the holes. It's a pity that we wake up in this process only when we start losing 2,500 cubic meters per hour. So actually our heat plants cannot treat the water. We can talk about sources until end of the year, but if we don't fix the transmission pipelines, then it's pointless. And I believe that beside the sources and what we need to change, we need to focus firstly in the mindset. We need to take a decision how we see ourselves in 30 years from now. So we have some small success stories, but we need to take it from zero and to give a reset to our mindset and start investing in the proper way, in the Nordic way, actually.
You would say our conservative approach is what is blocking us in modernizing.
Yes, yes, like my colleague said, it's not only conservative mentality, it's bureaucracy, it's political mixture, there are various reasons, and we need leaders who can take the responsibility and start changing this. As you saw in the last 3 years, and like Cezar said, we see a lot of changes, in Bucharest especially, and this is why I said that many of you know us as the reason of not having hot water and heating during the winter. But actually, I believe you know that what it is fixed until now is not even 10% from what we need to repair. Our networks are more than 35 years old. And it's physics. At one moment, they will crack.
Yes, Romania has a lot to do on that front. I'll go now to Mr. Biro again, because I'm curious about how the heat pump market has evolved. We used to talk very little about heat pumps in Romania. How do you see, let's say, the last 5 years compared to the previous 10 years in terms of heat pump installation and interest from the potential consumers?
Is present in Romania for 20 years. We represent Nibe for 14, 15 years. And I can say that at the beginning it was a market for the early buyers, people who are interested in new technologies and they invest in a heat pump. But after that, market evolved every year. First with the people who work in the west part of Europe, and they see the system, and when they come back home and they make buildings, they want to apply it to us. So marketing is growing every year. We are increasing our sales every year compared to last year. Today we have around 2,000 new installation every year. So the market is growing. Now people came to us and asked about heat pump. At the beginning, we have to go to them, and if the heat pump is a good solution, we would have to explain to them what it is a heat pump. And the main concern of them, especially at the air-to-water heat pump, they ask, and did heat my house and make hot water also at -15 outside? They are not very confident on that. And was a little bit hard for us to explain. We have to give them the houses we installed, to even give them clients to talk with them. Today, this is not anymore. The clients know about heat pump, and they came to us requesting exactly a heat pump for their house.
Are there any subsidies offered by the Romanian government through the FMA program or the greenhouse program for heat pump installations?
Subvention.
Yes, subsidies.
At this point, these are not quite consistent. There was a program, greenhouse, where the heat pump were included. Right now, last year was only for the electric panel, solar panel, photovoltaic was the electric heat up. Then there was a reduction in VIT for the heat pump installations, but this year was cancelled because of the financial situation of the country.
The budget deficit.
And but also there are points to achieve if you want to reach the European money for a new project or for a renovation. They somehow oblige you to use heat pump, and if you use it, you have more points and more easier get the money. So we can say that at this moment the state is doing the best he can, but I think we have to see it like this. If they have this, even in the past, the state understands the necessity of a heat pump as green energy. And probably in the future will be better condition.
More supported.
We hope.
We hope so too.
Yes.
Mr. Popescu, my last, not quite last, question goes to you, because we rarely talk, when talking about energy efficiency, we rarely talk about materials. We talk about how to produce heat electricity, how to transport, how to distribute, how to consume less, how to optimize our consumption. But you, with your presentation, you have showed us really that there is a discussion to be had also in terms of innovative materials. And if you could tell us a little bit again, why is this better than what was used before? And also in the context of the say, funding available, because funding is no longer an issue. And Romania wanted 5 billion to invest in energy efficiency by 2030, and Romania got almost 5 billion through various EU programs. How do you see, will we be able to attract all that money?
Thank you for the question. So, yes, basically, we cannot achieve our targets in terms of energy efficiency without insulating the buildings. And yes, heat pumps works always very well in obtaining an energy performant building when also you insulate properly the building. You mean to insulate the envelope of the building to reduce transfer of heat from inside to outside. And yes, there are some programs since early stages, beginning of 2000, 2007, 10, something like that. It was a national program of renovation, but it went very, very slow. And luckily, since the European funds were available, let's say, then European funds could have been also allocated to renovate the existing built stock. Is the so-called National Program of Renovation. It went also at a rather slow pace. And here I would like to see it from a positive angle. Why? Because probably we didn't reach more than 10% of the existing, speaking about the residential sector, renovated. It is because we had a very old fire norm. Luckily, the Ministry of Development managed to update the fire norm. We have a brand new fire norm in place since May this year. And this allows us to do a proper renovation of the buildings, choosing the right products, always taking into consideration also the fire safety of the buildings.
Thank you very much. Since we're in the last leg of our discussion, let's open up to maybe some questions from the audience. We can take one or two. Gabriel, I count on you.
Thank you, Eugenia. I'm here, ladies and gentlemen. If any questions or comments, I will be right beside you with the microphone. Please.
Hello, Otilia Notsu from Expert Forum. I have a question related to district heating. So we have the existing system like the one in Bucharest, which was built after a certain logic, and it's being modernized after the same logic. The question is, will the system be able in the future to integrate renewables or heat pumps or waste heat, or would it be needed to replace again all the grids for the introduction of these sources? So can we use what we are repairing now and modernizing now on new funds, or we need to scrap it altogether at some point in the future if we want to introduce renewables or other sources? Thank you.
Who is the question for?
Open questions?
Probably Mr. Stoica.
Eu cred că cu întrebarea asta trebuie să vă duceți la primăria capitalei.
English, please.
Sorry. I think with this question we have to be addressed to the City Hall of Bucharest. They know exactly what is the strategy. But of course we have to introduce all this new technology in the district heating system, because otherwise we will not reach any target, and we'll replace the pipes continuously. But in this sense, we need a strategy. We need a vision of 50 years, like in Copenhagen had starting from 2000. They know exactly how will be in 2050 with the district heating, how the innovative solution have to be introduced in order to reach the target of zero emissions, etc., etc. I didn't see that kind of discussion in our public sector, and the single discussion was related to the subsidies. How big is the subsidies? How to deal with that in front of the population? Nothing else. I think is not sufficient.
Thank you. I think we might be having another comment.
Just a
please.
comment.
Mr. Bita,
I'm very positive. If we will find the solutions to change the mindset, all these problems will become a lot of opportunities around us. I think this is the small step we have to do in the future. Thank you.
Mr. Bita, if you have...
Yeah, I just want to add one thing, that from technical point of view, if the solution will have only just adding on new source, actually we can integrate the actual grid into the future. So from technical point of view, it depends when this will be done, and if not, it will crack what we fix in 20 years if they don't do anything.
Thank you. We have another question from here, please.
Hello, my name is Victoria. First, I'm coming from Hungary, and I am usually working on geothermal projects, deep and shallow geothermals, mostly now on deep ones. To the geothermal one, and I would have a question to Nibe. You have only have spoken about the air-to-water projects, but we know that below 0 degrees outside temperature, geothermal heat pump would be more successful, especially in combination with photovoltaic panels. You can reach almost zero energy consumption or plus minus zero costs for the daily costs. So is there a market in Romania available for this, or you are not propagating, nobody is going for that? That would be the one point.
Well, I'm not sure if I understand well the question, but that of course, a geothermal heat pump, it's always better than an air-to-water heat pump. That's for sure. There are two different systems. The more efficient is the geothermal and more, let's say, the same functioning all the year. But there is also a difference in costs. And if you compare it, the heat pump air-to-water to geothermal, let's say it's almost there, but adding the geothermal, you have the drilling, the probe that you have to put them in the ground. Well, that field, it's an extra cost. So if the project has enough budget, this is the best solution. If not, in many cases, an air-to-water heat source is more easy to apply, just install the air-to-water, and more cheaper for the investor. I don't know if I understand your question.
Yes, that was a good answer. I just have, how to say, another mind, because of the mindset changing in Romania. I was involved in a couple of deep drilling projects preparation, and the mindset change has to be at the planning already. So we have spoken about the financing, yes, that the projects has to be financed. The question is what shall be financed? So if the planning is from the beginning a wrong one, or the mindset is a wrong one, then we are going for the money, and the money at the end will not be for the project success, but it will be just spent for nothing, for not successful projects. Many thanks.
Thank you for the question, and also for the advancing this conversation on changing the mindset.
Gabriel, if there is interest, let's take 1 or 2 more questions if there is interest.
Yes, please. First the gentleman, very short please. And then...
Yeah, thank you. We talks? Yeah. Dumitru Manea, Chief Editor of Energetica magazine. One question for Mr. Biro. You presented the advantages of heat pumps and PV in Alba Iulia, the power savings. If you can tell us the total cost of the project and how it represents in the cost of each apartment, because I suppose it was paid by the apartment owners. Thank you.
Well, the cost of total cost of investments, unfortunately, I don't have it. What we have and what we talk with the investor, what the cost for the central thermical room, and they made a calculation comparing it with other sources. First one was with the gas with the 2 big boilers and the chimneys and all the rest. And at the end, they choose our solution, of course, because it was cheaper. I don't know if it's much cheaper, but they win as a cost. But unfortunately, they do not give us the comparison with the other sources of heat pump. What I can say that they analyzed this one, big gas boilers, big heat pump. But here it was a problem of installation, the big heat pump around the building, because there are always windows and the noise was a problem. and they analyzed the cost of a system with the individual heat pump on each apartment. They do all this, and at the end, and because they have photovoltaic, and the photovoltaic was a centralized system, and they cannot split the energy on each apartment, they have to consume it on a individual group. They decide for a centralized heat pump unit. I'm sorry, I don't have exact data of the investment.
Thank you. Thank you anyway. I will have another question from here.
Alexandru Ciocan from Energy Policy Group. I just have a curiosity. How difficult is to obtain the permitting when we discuss about water-to-water heat pump? We have a lot of lake or rivers in Romania and Bucharest, and I'm wondering how difficult it is to obtain the environment permitting for this kind of solutions. The question is for whoever could answer.
Well, the heat pump is a heat source for that building. You don't need a special authorization for the heat pump itself. We might need it if you want to use the water, if it is a commercial institution. Normally to individual houses is not, you don't need agreement, but if you have a commercial institution, you need improvements for the Romanian waters or something like this. I don't know how difficult it is to obtain it, because this is the part of the design of the installation normally. When we arrive there, they just ask us a solution, and we answer their question technical to what we have, what we can use, what we can get, all the automation and the rest. But regarding the geothermal, because also the lady is asking, we have also a lot of installation with geothermal in Romania. That's right, the majority are air to water, because I tell you it is easy. But we have installation of geothermal also at residential, so houses, but also at public places. We have hospital made with geothermal, public buildings, and they have also drilling there, so they have get authorization.
Thank you. Maybe the closing line?
Yes. I would like to ask each of you to send like a final key message to, I don't know, our decision makers, or like the main takeaway for us, for all of us after this discussion. And I will like us to go. Start from you, Mr.
So I said already.
Any final thoughts before we close the panel?
The final thoughts, it's related to to be connected to the new solutions, to the innovative solutions. All our projects have to be there and develop in accordance with that, because otherwise it will cost us too much.
All right.
Be connected to the innovative solutions, and the Nordic solution, I think, are the best in this moment.
Solutions exist, so we need to connect faster to what's out there in terms of technical solutions. Mr. Cojocea?
Yeah, in my opinion, should be this long-term planning. So first decide what you would like it was mentioned, yeah, they see a long term, 25, 10, 15, 20 years, what will happen. And then take a decision and keep it like that.
Thank you.
For the decision makers, I would say that definition of insanity is to do the same thing every day and to expect different result. If we want to change something, we have to start with ourselves. Thank you.
Mr. Popescu.
I was used with the other circuit. Okay, I think I am with my colleagues. Basically, yes, we need to be consistent and then make energy efficiency in buildings strategic country strategy and just keep it. and then we'll get the results. The European framework is there. We have a lot of directives. We have anyhow to implement them. Let's make sure we take the right decision and then keep the pace. And the industry will come and they will invest. And the good example is the Rockwool investment in Romania.
We're closing with you, Mr. Biro.
Well, I think that for green energy, for us, the heat pumps has his place, and we will continue to believe in this, and we'll continue to work with Nibe. Thank you.
I would like to thank all our panelists. We should give them a round of applause, and I'm handing back over to you, Gabriel.
Thank you.